everybody, it's Romania Black, and I'm so excited because after a long day of work, I was like, what am I going to do? How about we watch the season finale of Windbreaker? Oh my God, I am in love. Oh, last episode was so freaking good. I'm not sad at all because after this week, we still have season 2. But one really quick note, just in case if you're wondering, we are going to take a very short break next week. We're going to take the week off of Windbreaker. I've got an extra already planned on the channel. We're going to let everybody get a nice little cleanse our palate. I'm going to be putting the bingo card up on Patreon as well as in the community post over on YouTube so that y'all can print out your bingo card, take a screenshot of it, do what you need to do to save it so that you too can follow along. And we're going to play bingo every day or every week rather with season 2. So we have that to look forward to. So there will be a quick little break of Windbreaker next week. We're going to have another short, not short, but an extra on the channel to take its place for the week. And then we're going to come back the following week and just dive into season 2. And I'm so excited. Also, Thea Victoria Martin, back in episode 9, had talked about Tiny Hats for Tiny Cats Break Winder season 1 parody. I looked that up today and I was like, oh, it's only 7 minutes. So we're going to react to that today as well. So we're going to do that. We're also going to look at the OP and ED lyrics because people have been requesting it. So yes, we're going to have a lot of fun today as well as look at the season finale. It's going to be a fun day for Windbreaker and I'm so excited. So with that in mind, I do have a couple of comments for episodes 10 and 11 I want to talk with you all about. I've really enjoyed reading all of the comments that I can that aren't spoilers for this series so far, and I look forward to reading them in the future. So I will be touching base on any comments for episodes 12 and 13 when we get to season 2 if they are noteworthy. So just keep those coming. I'm super excited about that. Feel free to like the videos, subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss any of my Windbreaker reactions because I'm really having so much fun with this series. It's been one of my favorites on the channel so far, and it's such a comfort anime. I just feel like I can come on here, and if I've had a bad day at work, I'm like, I'm gonna watch Windbreaker because I will be happy watching that show. So anyway, Alexander Q for episode 10 says, I hadn't noticed that Kotoha was doing homework in that scene. It's a nice detail to know. I wonder if she's in some kind of homeschool, remote school program that allows her to study at her own pace while she tends to the cafe. And if she is, maybe it's the same program that Bofurin is in because I've yet to see a single teacher in that school. Maybe they all just make homework whenever they can and that's all they need to do, LOL. Yeah, I don't know. As somebody that's worked in a school with like a big CTE program, which is career and technical education, Bofurin, they all seem like CTE kids, and I don't know if I would trust those kids to do online learning. They're more hands-on. I feel like most CTE people are hands-on people. They want to work with their hands. They don't want to do online classes, and Bofurin kind of reads to me as that. So I don't know. I think the people are just happy these kids are doing their job, right? And protecting the city. Maybe that's it. Sid for episode 10 says, Umamiya in the OP, forcing us to get our vitamins. And I just realized Umamiya doesn't fight in the OP. Huh. No, he doesn't fight in the OP. That's interesting. Umamiya didn't really fight much against Choji. He was more defending and being a tank. So I'm speculating, my headcanon is that there's something in Umamiya's past, like whether Umamiya was a violent little brat or whether he seriously hurt someone or whether he hurt someone and it freaked Tachibana out. For whatever reason, there's some reason Umamiya doesn't like to fight, but he's a tank and he can absorb a lot of hits, but he doesn't try to fight back. And there's a reason for that. And we're going to see, I'm sure, what that is as the series goes. But for now, it's a mystery. And then Salieri had commented on episode 11, but they were catching up on comments for episodes 9 and 10. So they talked a little bit about Shishitorin and Choji. And I thought this comment, it's a little long, but I thought this was a really good point within the comment to check out. They have like a huge comment with lots of things in it. So on Patreon, go to episode 11 and check it out. But I'm going to do this highlights of this specific part because I thought it was really interesting. This leads me to my next point I want to talk about, Shishitorin being weak. When we started this arc, we could assume that Bofurin would not win all 5 matches. It nearly seems like bad writing to make the protagonist's team win all the matches, taking all the stakes and all. But what makes it perfect, or it makes perfect sense when you actually watch the whole arc, is that they didn't win because of the protagonist's plot armor, but because literally the point of the whole arc was that Shishitorin was weak. They were. The whole point of the arc was showing how bad a leader Choji and Togami were and how that changes the group. A lot of people in Shishitoran sure are strong, but they were in a really bad place mentally, which resulted in them losing their matches. Even Togami's match, when he straight up just lost with Sakura on purpose, we could assume that Togami is strong enough to take on Sakura if he would be in a good place mentally, was all to show us as the viewers the importance of a leading figure in Windbreaker, the contrast of Umemiya and Choji, and how many lessons can Sakura as a protagonist take from the whole situation. It's kind of a warning to not be like Choji. And I agree with that. I think that's a really good point to bring up. They also said the Anko bun that Umemiya gives Choji is also symbolic. It symbolizes the whole Shishitoran. Like Choji eats it and says that even after what has happened, it was in Umemiya's pocket the entire time. So it was warm and flattened and everything else. It was still delicious, and he and Togami share halves of it. Like Shishitoran, after all, could still be a good group, and they should both work on it together. I also like that none of them deny their faults in what's happened with Shishitoran. They both decide to take responsibility of their doings and simply know that apologizing is not enough. They actually have to work on being better or helping their group to get out of it. Yeah, I love that. I think that that's such a good thing to point out, and I really appreciate that going into this season finale. I like the idea so far that what we've experienced is that every group we've only mainly come against Choji and Togami's group, but I like this concept if every enemy group allows us to learn a little bit more about ourselves along the way, right? It's not the destination, it's about the journey. Speaking of which, we got a glimpse at the four kings. I want to know everything about them. I need to know everything about them. I want to know. I need to know. I hope we know. We're going to see how it goes, right? But I am so excited, y'all. Thank you so much for commenting and joining me on this journey. I can't believe we're already done with season 1. I don't like that. I don't like already being halfway through the Windbreaker content that we have, but what can we do? So in any case, let's get started, y'all. All right, so we are going to get started with Windbreaker, the season finale, y'all. Ooh! And we're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's do it to it. This was such a good season finale. This was great. My dog is probably gonna want me to play with a toy with him while I'm talking with you all, so you'll have to bear with me. But I'm gonna bring out Whiteboard Coon, but I'm also gonna try to put some screenshots up here just because we've got things to talk about in all of this. So let's just go ahead and get this set up here, and that way I can kind of keep track at the same time I'm talking with you all here in 3, 2, 1. This episode was perfect for the season finale. I was wondering when we started episode 11, I was like, oh, we're setting up like an aftermath episode, and then episode 12 starts a new arc. I'm like, how are we going to end this episode and this season where it's setting up season 2? And this is perfect. It's perfect. We've set up who Keel is. We're going to write them up here. We have old Keel. We're going to talk about Keel. I have a lot of things to say about Keel. So far, we'll see how much Romania is right and how much Romania is wrong, but we're going to talk about Keel. But we set it up perfectly, and Sakura leveled up in this episode. Sakura had a moment where I was like, oh, I like this Sakura. Let's get into it. So I'm super excited. There is a lot to talk about and really love about this episode. We did not get the OP and ED, which we're going to have to go back through and check out the lyrics for that and all that here in a minute. We're going to have to do all that. But we did not get the OP and ED. So there's that. I feel a little bit sad about that, but what can you do? Our four kings! Our four kings! Oh, I live. They are all very interesting. They're all very unique. I like all their designs. I'm very curious about their demeanors, about their attitudes. We're going to talk about all that. So, of course, Narai is just like, he's just like, oh my God. He's like about to foam at the mouth and spaz out. And so I was like, I know, me too. Which is great. And then Sakura, I love when he was like, hamana. And Sakura's like, what are you saying? And he's like, these are the kings of Bofurin, the four kings right before my eyes. I love Sakura's face there where he's like, I don't know, what am I supposed to do about that? So he's like, who's what now? I love Narai's like, don't call them what? Narai's like, be nice. How dare you? That face Narai makes is amazing. So we get to meet all 4 of them. And he's like, fine. So he gets out his top secret notebook. Queen. Actual legitimate queen. My favorite. I'm in love already. I'm so in love already. That's real hair, y'all. That is her real hair. That is her real hair. She may have dyed the tips of it red, but that is her real hair. Hell yes. Let's go, Windbreaker. Let's get into this. So we have Jikoku. I remember when they were introducing us to the 4 like teams, but I don't remember if I like tied them up correctly. So we have Tsubakino. Already my favorite, by far. Love them. The red, the tips, their blue eyes, everything. We're going to talk a little bit about the fashion here in a little bit. Tasuku. Tsubakino Tasuku. What a name. What an alliterate name. Tasuku. Okay. But yeah, Tsubakino. We're going to get into them. Then we have Komoko. We have Komoku. I wonder if Jikoku, Komoku, I wonder if there's a connection there. And that is Mizuki. All right, Mizuki. Mizuki has a very Midorima look about them. It does the stereotypical like glasses and all that. Looks like if Maki's in and Midorima had a love child. Then Zojo. Okay, so we do have a little variance there. Then we have Zojo, and that's Momose. Momo! Any character named Momo is actually crazy. I stand by that. Every anime that I've watched that has had a character named Momo has a little edge of crazy to them. Not bad. Not a bad crazy, but a little edge of craziness to them. I think Momo does as well. And we barely see their face. And then Tamon is Hiragi. So we have the Tamon team, which is the one Sakura's on. And that is Hiragi, who gets out the stomach medicine because that's his trademark. I want to talk real quick about the 4 of them because they're very interesting to me. Gotta get that OP shot. I want to talk about, let me get to the still where we see they're the core of Bofurin. I want to note something about their fashion because I think it's interesting and kind of relates to their personality. Hiragi is very standard. Hiragi, with the exception of his uber tight leather pants, which we will not judge him for. He's very standard. He's just like standard uniform, looks pretty plain. He is a meat and potatoes kind of guy, and we like him for that. So Hiragi's he kind of is a grounded individual, which Umamiya, who's kind of eccentric, needs. Then you have Momose. Momose has like the little color on top of the hood. Everything is too big for him, which makes me wonder if he inherited the jacket from like someone else from Bofurin. Like if someone gave him the jacket after they were like beat up or graduated or whatever. Also, why does he have the gas mask? There's a mystery about Momose that I'm really interested about. Then you have Mizuki. And Mizuki is literally like the opposite of Hiragi and Momose. Mizuki is definitely the opposite of Tsubakino, where Mizuki, everything is like closely knit, like closely tailored, closed up, collar buttoned. Everything is closed off. His demeanor, the way he's very military in his stance, everything is pristine, but it's also very like tailored and like not loose in any way. Makes me think that is indicative of his personality, where everything has to be prim, proper, concise, very Midorima. From Kuroko's Basketball is the vibes that I'm getting. Then you contrast that with Tsubakino, and Tsubakino, everything is like the jacket is open, there is the tie, the nails are red, the hair is out, the makeup is on, the skirt is on, like everything is so out in the open. Like they are like, this is me, this is what you get. And it's sort of a direct contrast with Mizuki. So I'm obsessed. I want to know more about them. I want to know about them. I want to see what is their backstory. We better get that in season 2. I need it. I mean, if we have to wait, fine. But I really am so excited. And the part I love most is that no one is questioning Tsubakino. Nobody is questioning. Nobody is like, and almost the better part of it is that no one questions Tsubakino, even amongst the new people. Like none of the new people are like whispering like, why is there a girl here? Or why is that, if they're a guy, why are they dressed up like a girl? Like nobody's questioning that. because every member of Bofurin are all coming from the position of outsider, and they found this found family that accepts them from within. So nobody cares. And I'm like, this is the acceptance we've been looking for in our society. Give it to us. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Umamiya is so interesting. He's just like, oh, you guys, I want to tell you something before we start. It's very, very important, you see. Some of you may have noticed. And I love that he immediately goes to Sugi, and he's like, we're done transplanting all this year's sprouts. Look. I love that Sugi's like, it was a lot of work. So Umamiya, metaphorically transplanting sprouts, metaphorically getting all of the new first-year captain and vice captains and everything set up, as you would. But I just love that he uses plants as a metaphor for getting everybody together. And I like that he gives Sugi his due. He's like, look at how Sugi, he helped out a whole bunch. And Sugi's like, of course I did, damn it. It's super cute. We have more plots this year, which means we'll be able to eat a whole bunch more. And he's like, I'm already planning a barbecue. Amazing. And Hiragi's like, is there something else you're supposed to be talking about? And he's like, I didn't have time to transplant them all. I wanted them to see. And he's like, they came all the way up here, so let's greet them first. I love it. Tsubakino looks so fun. I want to see them in action. And here's the thing, when Umamiya said he wasn't planning anything, Umamiya, for all intents and purposes, I know that we joke about him being a perfect man made in a lab, but he does have a few little flaws. He's not one for speaking, when he speaks from the heart, it's very sparsely, like he has this over-the-top persona that he puts on to like communicate with people. He's kind of socially awkward in a way, which is interesting because you expect someone like Umamiya to be like a people pleaser and a social butterfly and someone that's like he is easy on the eyes, but like easy to talk to and that you can just have a conversation for hours with. But he's not really. I think that's why he kind of relates to Sakura a little bit. He's like, I'm more like you than you know. He just comes across as he's a little bit socially awkward, so he just kind of masks it with like the over-the-top persona. But then he's garbage at using an intercom and he's not good at like having big speeches. And then when he just bows and says, I'm counting on you, that's something I would imagine third-year Sakura doing. Like his attitude is something I imagine third-year Sakura being like, look, I'm going to do it. Which we'll talk about his conversation with the girl later. He's like, it's impossible for me to look out for everyone in this school. And I love that they're all just so surprised. I'm leaving it up to you. And everyone respects that. I love it. It's great. So yeah, then we get to meet Bebop and Rocksteady, is how I call them, which are Hiragi's two right-hand men. They literally, the one guy looks like Rocksteady from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they both have such different personalities. Like the one guy with the orange mohawk is like so outspoken, and then the other guy is like, hey, what's going on? So we have these two guys. They almost look like twins except for their personalities. He's like, do you know them? Also, I like the different body types that we get in this series. It's really fun. So he's like, I met them the first day that I moved here. Yeah. So we have Matsumoto Yodai. So we're going to put him up here. With Hiragi is Matsumoto Yodai. So we get him. He has such a loud... Him and Sugera, I bet, would get along real great. Then Hiragi's like, well, don't touch this man. Then we have this guy here, Yanagita Asian. So we have Yanagita Asian. And I love that he sounds like an NPR poet. He's like, and then today on the NPR, we're going to be watching some other things that are really important. I love it. I love that they're like, what are you saying? We can't hear you. What's going on? It was great. So, Taman's team's second years are all continuing from last year, huh? Okay. Interesting. So, when he said that, I'm like, do people transfer out? Do they leave? Or are they killed? Like, what are you talking about, Umiya? Or do they decide they don't want to do the job and then give it off to someone else? I'm curious about this. And so I like when he looks over at Sakura and he's like, hey, friend. I feel like Umamiya, because Sakura is, I think he views him as a kindred spirit, he like wants to focus on him, which is fun. He's like, so the grade captain Sakura, huh? And he's like, thanks, man. I'm counting on you and Narai and Suo. Umami is such a dork. I love him. If you're in trouble, don't ever hesitate to rely on your upperclassmen. I love it. Your big brothers will take care of everything. This is such a cute shot. I love that Umamiya is like, look at these guys. Aren't we all just a big old crew? Umamiya looks adorable there. Hiragi's pants are way too tight. He needs to stop that. But I like that. I like Kaji's like, yeah, found family, whatever. You know that he's paying attention. Kaji doesn't want people to know he's paying attention, but you know he is, right? And Inamoto looks like he belongs in Yu Yu Hakusho. For sure. I like that Kaji, especially since last episode, Kaji has like got his eyes on Sakura and he's like, so what you gonna do? How you gonna handle things? I like that he didn't yell. I was expecting whenever he took the sucker out of his mouth that he was just going to yell to Sakura and be kind of like aggressive, but he really wasn't. He's like, you're basically handling things on your own. He's like, you do things how you want, right? Just, you're going to be in charge. He's like, I can't do much for you. And I'm not your brother. I'm an only child. And Sakura's like, ditto. Same here, bro. What? Sakura didn't say he was an only child, but I assume that he is. I like that Hiragi's like, oh, come on. How else would you phrase it? Senpai. I like how he said senpai. And I like the other two that are like, oh, Kaji, come on. Are you and Sakura becoming friends? He's like, shut up. I don't like any of you. So it's really cute. So then they come back and they are explaining what's going on. Whenever Sugiura said, I'm jelly, I know that was just an English translation thing, but all I could think about is Destiny's Child singing Bootylicious, and would that be Sugura's dance song? I think it would be. Also, I love that in this shot, Kiryu, first of all, fashion diva, the loafers and socks will match the shirt. Trust and believe. Fashion icon. But also I love that he sits on top of the radiator. My school that I went to had a radiator that was just like that. They look like little lockers, but we had a radiator that was very similar to that. And people would sit on top of it all the time, especially in the winter because they'd be cold. But yeah, he's like, I want to hear about the virtues of the four kings. And Narai's like, I wondered about that too. Maybe we'll learn. I mean, Hiragi, we kind of have established Hiragi's virtue a little bit. We've seen through his battle with Shishitorin, we got a little bit into Hiragi and his virtues. But I want to know about the other three. I'm so curious going into next season what that's going to be like. Because the entire season isn't going to be about Keel. It's probably going to start with Keel. Maybe they'll come back later, but the whole season's not going to be Keel. And we have 12 episodes. So, I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm going to make a prediction that we're going to have maybe episode 1, maybe episode 2 of season 2 will involve Keel. And then I think we'll start a new arc. That's just my theory, but I could be wrong. I have been wrong before. So yeah, so Sugiura just wants to go to Muscle Power, and Narai, of course, because him and Narai get along great, they're like, sure. I love that both Suo and Kiryu and Sakura are all on the same page, like, no. Honestly, I'm not surprised that Suo and Kiryu get together and get along so well, but they really do. I don't ship them, but I definitely view them both as kindred spirits. So then Keel shows up, and they're like, we can't find him. It's going to be trouble if we go too far into town. And that's when we have Sakura's like, you boys looking for something? Like trouble? I love this shot here. Sakura is looking very Umamiya with his hands in his pockets, looking forward. Narai's like, I will fight, but also will run away screaming. Suo is like, my dance training has led me to this. Kiryu's like, I could take you in a fight. And meanwhile, Sugiura's like, you're not bears. I love them. So this guy appears to be one of the leaders, but here's the thing. The guy holding Nagato at the end of the episode had blonde hair and bluish green eyes. Not like this dude. This dude's eye color is different than the blonde that was punching Nagato. So there's going to be multiple people with Keel that we're going to meet that are going to be an issue. This looks straight out of a manga. This face here, this looks like a page in a manga if I've ever seen one before. And I'm not opposed to it. Surprisingly, there was very little fighting in this episode, which is the season finale. So what do you expect? I want to talk about Keel. Keel is pretty cool. What I like about them is that they have this blue skeletal dragon motif, which is fun. I thought of a few things. I thought of Blue Eyes White Dragon. So this is Seto Kaiba's gang, as it were. They're also interested in money. So again, Seto Kaiba's gang, right? They're kind of into money. And they're also very abusive with expressing power. It's a very abusive power structure. Like with Choji and Shishitorin, Choji was like, well, if you lose a fight, you're out. These guys, it's kind of like either you take hits or you're out. And it's like, I don't know. It seems very toxic. It seems very toxic. And it also seems like an abuse trap, which we will talk about. But they also remind me of, I said Kingdom Hearts in the reaction because of all the useless belts, because that's always a common thing with Kingdom Hearts. But they also remind me of like a Pokemon organization, like not Team Rocket, but like Team Magma maybe, or Team like, is it Team Galaxy or whatever? But yeah, they seem like a Team Rocket knockoff is what Keel reminds me of. Like Team Keel sounds like it would be in the latest Pokemon game, if I'm being honest. So yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, I will say this. They all seem like assholes, but they do have a pretty sweet jacket design. I'm not going to lie. If I were to pick gangs that I'd want to join based on their appearance and appearance alone, Keel would probably be up there for me because I like the color blue. I like dragons. I like the way the white and blue looks together. Yeah, interesting. So they're not really known. Everybody's like, who the hell are they? And Suo doesn't seem to know. They're not that big of a team. So we're already establishing they are a little bit different than Shishitorin. Shishitorin was huge. They were filling up an auditorium of hundreds of people, right? This gang is not that big. So we're kind of looking at the opposite vibes of Shishitorin, where they're a little bit wee different. I'm glad I don't have to wait for season 2 because I want to know more about them and I want to get into the lore with them as soon as possible. So that's when we find Anzai. And Anzai was, what is this true crime, like X-Files or Oppenheimer? What is this? What is this font? This is a bit ominous. I don't know if I like that. So speaking of not like that, we've got this like ominous Neon Genesis style sandbox scene, but it ends up not being anything crazy. It's Nagato showing up and playing with them. And then here's the thing. You've got them playing in the sandbox and you have Anzai reaching for Nagato's hand. And I'm like, oh, are we setting up a ship? Is the ship being built in the harbor as we speak? I think so. Methinks so. But yeah, so Anzai wakes up and they find him in the alleyway and the lady invites them into her place to get something to eat. And he's like, oh, I was chased by a dog or a bear. And basically only Sugera believes him. And he's like, I want to fight this bear. Sugera's ridiculous. But yeah, so nobody believes him. And he's like, well, I'm fine. Everything's great. I like that Suo makes the comment about Sakura believing everything. And Sakura's like, shut up, Suo. Like, it's super cute. I love the dialogue and banter between everybody at this point. And so Anzai gets ready to leave. And they're like, oh, you're leaving already. Couldn't you come a bit longer? I do like Suo's motion there. Suo, Nirai asks the question, but Suo is somebody, when you want to see people's reactions, watch Suo's, because he doesn't ever say anything, but the way that his eyes and head they do such a good job of animating all the characters in this series and their expressions and everything. It's just so unique and so vivid. I freaking love it. So yeah. They ask him if he has scuffle with Keel, or Suo does, and the moment he hesitates, it's like, come on, you're not fooling anybody. Also, Kiryu's shirt is amazing. I love that shirt so much. So yeah, and then he tries to leave. The moment he left the food, I was like, somebody's going to go deliver that food to him, and it ends up being Sakura. I'm surprised Sakura didn't give the food to the girl, because did he track Suo down? Or did he track Anzai down, I mean? If he didn't, did he just take it home? Also, this moment with Kiryu, so cute, where he's like, more food, yay! So precious. I love him and Sugera there. It's super cute. So, I wondered when she said all of you kids are like sons to me. I wonder if there's like a deeper kind of meaning there where if like, did she lose her son, or are we going to find that out? Does that matter in the long run? But I like that it's reinforcing this idea of found family with Bofurin in the town. And of course, this is my favorite Sakura expression so far. Blushy Sakura will be on the bingo card. It has to be, but this little expression where he's like, it's so cute. It's so cute. And I like whenever Narai and them were asking, like, why would Anzai keep a secret? Sakura kind of projects a little bit about himself where he's like, well, sometimes, even when we know people, we don't want to say everything about ourselves. Which is true of Suo, is true of Kiryu, is true of Sakura. I feel like Narai and Sugera would tell you their whole life story if you asked them. Right? But he's like, sometimes, he's like, oh, well, there was this guy that was acting like Gendo. So, I mean, based on how he was acting, they're probably looking for Anzai. So, yeah, looks like I hit the bullseye. And Narai's like, well, shouldn't we do something? Shouldn't we go save him, Sakura, since, you're in trouble, our classmate's in trouble? Let's say Keel did get to him. And then Sakura's like, look, he's like, my job is being captain and protecting the town and protecting you all, but he's a peer. And if he's got his own agenda and says he's fine, then what we need to do is just keep an eye out for him. But, we shouldn't, it comes down to that point of, does the person you're trying to save want to be saved? If they don't want to be saved, it's going to make that a lot harder. And we kind of experienced some of that with Shishitorin. He's like, I liked this part here where he's like, we don't even know if he wants help to begin with. And I like that his hand was twitching against the table, kind of almost like a lie detector test with Sakura. Like, Sakura thinks he wants help, but he doesn't know what to do. And he's like, everyone has a thing or two they don't want people asking about. And everybody just kind of stops there because they all can relate. Except for Narai. He'll tell you anything. But yeah, so he's like, but he's in our class. He's one of us now. If we can be of help, I'd like to do something. And so then, of course, that's when Sakura remembers what Umemiya said. And he's like, watch your friends closely and help them out. Umemiya says. And Sakura's like, son of a bitch. Fine. I'll go look for him. I'll take the food. I'll be cooperative. Also, the food that they got for this little, grill, that looks amazing. I would eat that in a heartbeat. And they're like, Sakura is sometimes isn't honest, huh? And so it was like, not just sometimes, basically all the time. Uh-huh. And he's like, this manja's tasty too. What? Wait, was that Sugera's? Why does Sugera, hold on, look at this. Why do we once again have phallic symbolism with Sugera? What are you trying to say, show? Why? Why he's got his big floppy vegetable just lying on the grill? And they're like, it's all right. Sakura's going to take care of it. So then we meet Anzai and his lady friend who asks about Nagato. And I really liked this exchange a lot. I like her character. I like the idea they were all childhood friends and then they all went to different high schools. And clearly Nagato has gone to a high school that's round up with the wrong crowd. And I mean, you may be asking like, well, Nagato was the one. Here's the thing. Nagato was used to, we're going to put Nagato on here and just kind of talk about him for a second. So what they established is that the girl and Tsuchiya, I think is her name. So Tsuchiya and Anzai, they were the troublemakers. They were trouble, and Nagato was just there by association. But he became kind of this anchor to keep him out of trouble. Like kids do. You get troublesome kids, you need an anchor that's the voice of reason, right? The JWoww to their Snooki and Dina, basically, if you're going by Jersey Shore standards. So that's what they were doing. But the problem is, once they went to the high schools and went their separate ways, you see this happen a lot where a kid is like a brat or chaotic, and then once they get a little maturity, they kind of mellow out. You see that. So that's literally what happened with them. Like, him and her kind of like got their act together and kind of calmed down. And I wonder if Nagato, because he was so used to this environment where he was kind of the grounding anchor, he saw trouble with the Keel gang and he thought, well, I'm used to being around chaos and trouble. I'll join this gang and I'll be able to help make a difference. And then come to find out, no, these people are trouble and you end up getting abused. I don't know if that's the case. There's a reason he's staying with them, but I don't know what it is, which is interesting. But we're going to talk about Keel here in just a little bit. But yeah, Anzai's clearly bothered by Nagato and the fact that Nagato was the one that stole the purse. Like, he's really upset about it. They do a really good job of animating Anzai in this episode. Like, his expressions, his eyes especially. Like, he looks amazing. Anzai was really well animated in this episode. I really liked it. But yeah, and so the friend Tsuchiya, she's clearly concerned. She's like, you shouldn't go alone. She's like, you're with Bofurin. Like, let them help out. And honestly, Anzai, I feel Sakura kind of like latched onto him because like Umemiya saw something in Sakura is seeing something of himself in Anzai. Because Anzai's like, no, I've got it. I'll be fine. I don't need to get anybody's help. That's literally Sakura the first time he came here. That's literally like episode 1, episode 2 Sakura is what Anzai is doing. So of course he can relate to him. And the moment he's like, I'll somehow make it work on my own, I'm like, you are not making it work on your own, sir, and we know it. So anyway, he leaves her, and I also appreciate that Sakura waited until they were done talking before he interrupted. Or maybe he didn't. Maybe he just stumbled across them after they were finished talking. But I feel so bad for her. She's crying, and then Sakura's like, just tell me the details. Sakura is so nervous around women. He's like, I don't want to know. Why are you crying? Stop crying. I just want to know what the details are. His expressions in this scene where she's like crying and he's like, I'm in the same class as that guy, so just tell me what's going on. And when she sees the Furin, she like starts talking about them being childhood friends and seeing Nagato. And then from there, she's like, oh, hey, Anzai. And he's like, Nagato was the one that had stolen the purse. And she's like, Nagato would never do such a thing. So he was going to bring Nagato here so we could hear his side of the story. And then that's where things went down. And so Sakura's like, well, okay. So we just have to go get that Nagato guy and bring him back here, right? And she's like, what? She's like, Furin's a team that protects the town. So Anzai said we couldn't rope you in. And I love that he's like, well, you know, somehow it'll be okay. Like the Sakura's like, yeah, but we can't just let him go and it'll be fine. I love how blushy he is. And he's like, and I'm stronger than you are. I'm like, what are you even saying, Sakura? That's so cute. The way he's like got his big mouth open like a damn frog. And then Tachibana's like, all you need to say is leave it to me. This is like a damn Hallmark movie. It's like a damn Hallmark movie where you're just building up the main character to finally have his moment to declare that he's going to help people. And Sakura's like the damn Grinch where he's like, I don't know. And he's like, well, I mean, you just leave it to me. So adorable. I love it. And then she starts crying and is like, well, thank you. She's like, you're a good guy. And I love him. He's like, what? He literally looks like a frog. He looks like he looks like Sergeant Frog. In this moment, he's like, what? Me? Nice. I love it. Sakura's amazing. I love that somebody pointed out he has these 2 little strands of hair that like stick up on end. Look at that face, those expressions. The mangaka for this series makes Sakura look so freaking adorable. I absolutely love it. And he's like, well, I didn't have a choice because you're crying. That's why. It's so cute. And she's like, well, will you give me that food? And he's like, no. Sakura's terrible with women. What can we do? So then he's wondering, what do I do? How do I handle this? I think it's interesting. I didn't notice this, but Sakura still has those bandages by his eye. Is he going to ever take those off, or are those like permanent there? Like, what's the deal with those little spots there? Is it hiding scars that are kind of like Umemiya's? I'm curious. Interesting. So yeah, and then the Anzai is telling that, and he's like, what do I do? He's like, he'll dodge the question if I bring it up. And so I like, everybody's there like, come on, Captain, what are we going to be doing, right? So then this one guy shows up with like a ransom picture, which is literally of Nagato getting the shit beat out of him. And then he takes off. And because we are Windbreaker and we've had no chance to do action shots, we get a brief ab moment. I'll count it. It's going to be on the bingo card as well. But Sakura's like, no, I'm not letting you go. He's like, I heard everything from the girl who was at the park with you yesterday. He's like, that thing's from Kiel, isn't it? And he takes it away and looks at the picture. I like that Sakura gets mad because he's like, well, this is disgusting. Yep. And it says, sob, sob. Nagato's getting pretty beat up. We're waiting at the abandoned Senkan shipyard, scumbags. That's just rude. At least with Togami, when he beat that one guy up, it was because he lost the battle and he was setting an example. This is just being mean to be mean. We don't stand for this. These are just punks. These are punks that need to get a good ass whooping. And I think Umemiya will be proud to know that Sakura is leading the charge. And when he says this has nothing to do with you, you know that Sakura can understand the projection because he knows how Anzai feels. And honestly, this moment where he grabs his shoulder and looks so serious, I was like, oh, you have my attention, sir. And then he looks so much like Umemiya there in that moment where he says, give me the details, Anzai. I feel like Sakura is this mix between Umemiya and Kaji, where he is more emotionally reactive like Umemiya is, but he's kind of awkward socially and doesn't exactly know all the right things to say all the time like Umemiya, but he has this reassuring presence about him like Umemiya does that makes you feel like you can stand behind him and it will all work out. And Kaji has that similar vibe of reliability where Kaji is kind of cold and off-putting sometimes, which is like Sakura, but he still has this vibe of trust me and I'll get it done. And Sakura has that too. So it's so good to see him like this. Yeah. So he explains the situation from the last 2 days. Poor Nagato. Can we also talk about how this series has an obsession with dark-haired characters and green eyes, and I'm not mad at it? Because Anzai has the fiery hair and the red eyes. Like Choji's hair was more muted, but still had the red eyes. Now, of course, we have a red-eyed character and a green-eyed character. If that's this mangaka's thing, I'm fine with it. I'm here for it. But Nagato is giving emo Togami vibes, like down 100%. Yeah. He snatched away and threw the purse. So then he said he went back to see, and they're like, this isn't enough. Didn't we say that in the past too? He says, I'm sorry. He's like, what a problem. If you don't get enough, then we can just do that thing again. And he says it's for one punch, 1,000 yen per punch. I'll say you brought 10,000 yen for 10 punches. I don't know why they're punching him for bringing in money. I don't understand the reason behind that. So then Anzai shows up to try to help Nagato. And he's like, let's go. And Nagato smacks him away, which him reaching for Nagato's hand ties to Nagato back when they were building the sandcastle. It seemed like he was reaching for his hand too. So there's some connection there. And then Nagato's like, no. He says, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, what do you think? And then they're all like, this has nothing to do with you. But it does. And then they give him the stick. He's like, I decided for myself. But why? But why? Why did you decide for yourself to be part of this gang? This is the second time this week I've mentioned this book. I mentioned it for another show, but I'm going to mention it for this one too. There's a book that I read a year ago, and it's called In the Dream House. And the author of it, In the Dream House, is by Carmen Maria Machado. It's really good. There's a lot of themes of domestic abuse in it. So if domestic abuse is a trigger for you, would not read it. But it is a very dark, graphic book. But the thing about it that makes it kind of unique is it's a mixture of poetry and choose your own adventure and prose. It's kind of unique. It's interesting. But the concept is this character is in a abusive relationship. And she doesn't realize that one of the biggest decisions you can make is also one of the easiest, and that's to just leave. But there's so much tied up to why she's there and why she stays in that abusive relationship that it's really sad, because you're like, well, just walk away, just get out. But she doesn't feel like she has that choice. And there's various reasons for that being the case. And so I wonder if Nagato has gotten into a similar situation where Nagato believes that for whatever reason he's staying with Keel, he can't leave and he's stuck there. And despite all the abuse that he's receiving, that would clearly be for anyone else a sign of, oh, I need to leave now. For him, he's like, oh, but I can't. So we don't exactly know what the deal is and why he's in Keel but for some reason, whatever is holding him there is enough to make him literally hit his friend. And maybe he was hitting his friend to get him out of there so that the other guys wouldn't beat him up even more. That could be. I don't know. Also, I really love this little frog with the umbrella, the Jiro. That's really cute. I like that little graffiti there. That's fine. But Sakura's like, okay. He's like, he's my friend. And I like the fact that Anzai's like, look, he's in that gang for some reason. I don't know why. But what I do know is my friend never as a kid ever cried. He broke his leg. He got lost. He toughed it out. He never cried. He was crying then. So something bad is going on. And he's like, and I want to help my friend. And Sakura's like, okay. He's like, we're going to go get him then. He's like, I told your girlfriend that I would go. I told your beard I'd go get him. Let's go. Let's do it. He's like, well, this is a personal issue. He's like, we're up against some really crazy guys. Like, I can't drag Furin into this. He's like, it doesn't matter who you're up against. I don't intend on going as someone from Furin. But I promised that girl that I would drag that guy Nagato back to her. Why are you making it sound like you're the center of the universe? This is also my issue. I love it. I love that they're like, we're all work together on this. And that's just the way it is. So deal. I love it. I love it so much. Let's see what this is about. And then, yeah, everybody shows up. My favorite part, one of my favorite parts of the episode, though, if I'm being honest with you, I love the idea that they're all looking out for each other and they're like, hey, we're all in a grade. We're going to go take care of these guys. We're going to get your friend back. We're going to help your girlfriend, your childhood friend. We're going to get all this settled. So let's go do it. One of my favorite parts of this episode is they all head out with him. And then the second years. Well, before we get to that, we need to talk real quick. Suo is not going to leave Sugi behind. I love that. I love that Suo's like, Umamiya would be really mad if we left you behind. So come on, Sugi. You best be believing that Sugi could knock some heads in. Sugi's like, you woke me up for this. It's like Genie from Aladdin. You rubbed my lamp. You woke me up. Now I got to deal with this. Like, I'm ready. But one of my favorite parts of this entire episode is when all the second years are sitting there and then suddenly Kushino points and they look and they're like, what the hell are those guys doing? And Kaji's like, okay, you're going to go take care of business. And what I wanted to see so bad was from their perspective on the second floor to look down and just see the first years all run, like walking forward with Sakura in the lead. I wanted to see that shot so badly because Umamiya's seeing that shot too. And the third years are seeing it as well. You just know it. And so I wanted to see that, but it's fine. We get the front shot of them going to the shipyard with Keel's lair. We get this front shot of Sakura leading the way, so it's fine. We got this. And then Cloverworks gives us this amazing shot of them all at the end with the Bofurin flag behind them. How we've come. I think this is why I really love this episode as being the season 1 finale. We started the episode off with Sakura all by himself, thinking he'd be at the top of the school in no time and that he'd do it all on his own. And then we end the season with Sakura as the captain of the first years, leading his fellow classmates to go rescue a friend of a friend, and he's at the center, at the lead, but he's got all these guys supporting him from behind. Oh, it's poetry. It's cinema. It's just mwah, mwah, mwah. And I love it. It all just tied in really, really well together. It just got that. So good, y'all. So good. So let us look up the Windbreaker. I want to look up the OP lyrics with you all and go over some of those. So let's do that, shall we? The Absolute Zero, which is Zetai Rado, which is Absolute Zero. Let's get into this. I want to get into English. Okay, so you all can see this translation for the TV version. Okay, there's a TV and a full version. Let's just go to full version. Oh, interesting. The full version. See. Your cries are far away. Let's breathe together one more time. This is a song that prays for our future. I like the idea of breath. So it's like breathing, the wind chimes. The night before the revolution and our voices disappear before daybreak. Negative thoughts, egoisms, jealousy, and absurd malice. Even the superheroes can understand those feelings. Oh, I like that. I like the idea of painting Bofurin as these vigilantes, these superheroes that also have baggage and a dark past. Like that. We could barely breathe, barely hanging on. Let's meet eye to eye and send off a signal. A voice that's not a voice. We definitely heard it. Oh, I like the idea of the barely breathing, barely hanging on. Like all of them together are outsiders that are banding together to accomplish this goal. I like that. No, to protect that love. We don't need those excuses right now. That undecided future that has nothing going for it. Yeah, because these people in Bofurin, they don't necessarily have an idea of what's going to happen in the future. They're all focused on the present and how they can help themselves now. Burn it all to the ground, absolute zero. Who cares about reason and appearances? I mean, that fits Bofurin to a T. It's all a flashback and discommunication. Hey, Umamiya is about communication. Let's not get it twisted. We've always been on an unstable path. We heard that SOS distress signal one day. Yeah, no matter how many times, we'll keep screaming with these emotions forever. Yeah, that fits Bofurin. I like the idea that they're on this. They've always been kind of uncertain of the future, but they all got the bat signal together, and it's caused them to become this like band of found family that are working together. Your cries are far away. Let's breathe together one more time. The untaken future that has nothing going for it. What is our destiny? Hey, what hopelessness. I see those in your eyes. Embrace all of it closely. Live on. There's nothing wrong here. Even if daybreak never comes. Even if it never stops raining. So frozen, it's burning. Ooh, freeze or burn. Absolute zero. Love that. That seems like it fits Windbreaker perfect. Windbreaker's OP is honestly one of my favorites so far of the year. I'm just saying. I also want to get the ED for season 1, which is Mudakai. Mudakai, I want the lyrics, please. Give me, I want the English ones too. Are they going to give me the English lyrics? Go back here. I want to find the English lyrics, please, and thank you. Come on, where are you at, ED lyrics? Okay, let me get this. Okay, Mudakai lyrics. Where are you at? Okay, here we go. The English for it is, you're like a fragment of light. I'll protect you. I'm invincible. My chest hurts so much that it feels like I'll break. Ooh, stay away, I said, seeing that you understood. I slapped away the hand that you offered. Ooh, because I'm a demon. That feels very much like Sakura from the beginning, but also kind of connects to Anzai now. If it makes you smile, even my unbearable past, all of it, maybe it's not as worthless as I thought. Curled up all alone, I won't forget how you reached in and pulled out my frozen heart. I mean, you could argue if you wanted to ship Sakura with someone, you could argue this is them. But I also like the idea of it's Bofurin as a collective pulling out his frozen heart. What do those eyes, that back carry with me? Carry with them. Even your selfish fists move me. Ooh! I feel like crying. I don't want you taken away. I don't want to hurt you. I'll protect you. I'm invincible. My chest hurts so much it feels like I'll break. This is an oddly, like, I don't want to call it romantic, but it's a very emotional ED. Interesting. My tattered heart was twisted and crushed. You can't understand unless you try. It's a little embarrassing. Acting all high and mighty. Acting like I knew strength when I didn't know a thing. Let me stay here. I want to stay here no matter what I do or how much I fail. This is definitely from, well, is it from Sakura's perspective? Because I couldn't even recognize beautiful things. Pretending to know like a clown, a monster trying to tame me. But even it bears its fangs with kindness. My heart has started to shrink, caught between ambivalent justice and evil. Even in the despair of knowing eternity doesn't exist, I'll put love into it. I was wondering if some of this related to Choji maybe and Umamiya, but I mean, it still feels like Sakura. Interesting. shaking, worn down. Even so, I wanted to stand tall. If I could meet you with nothing but raw, exposed love. Under, topping, heading dread. It's even more dangerous than that. I'm invincible. An outsider full of nothing but trauma. Oh, this is about Sakura. Yeah, an outsider full of nothing but trauma. Yes. Even if I look like a demon. I want to protect you. I want to love you. My heart is on the verge of tears. The scent of blood is sweet and malice is growing. This is the end, so hold me tight. Tight enough to break me. I won't look away from your eyes ever again. Ah, ooh. From Sakura's perspective, that song is really sensual in a crazy way. I mean, obviously it's about Sakura wanting love and acceptance and all these things from those around him, not necessarily in a romantic way, but that's a very emotional ED. Okay. Holy cow. All right. So now we're going to watch Breakwinder. I'm glad I got to see those lyrics. That was really cool. It's some food for thought about Sakura for season 2. Okay. So let's check out Breakwinder. Now this is from Tiny Hats for Tiny Cats. I'm going to play it with the sound because that's how I do. But however, if for some reason the copyright will not let me have this, I don't know if Tiny Hats for Tiny Cats has some kind of copyright on their video or not. I don't know. I will probably edit this together in the link down below with the reaction. So if you see a thing that says link in the description, it's going to be this one, and I'll make a note. It'll be after the reaction to episode 13, okay? So that's just what I'm going to have to do, but I want to keep the sound on because why not? So this is apparently, it says covers episodes 1 through 10 of Windbreaker. Probably because they didn't want to start season 2's arc with episode 11. So that makes sense. Okay. We're going to start this here and see what this is about. I want to make sure the closed captions are on. But we're going to do that here. The animation alone already, I'm like, okay, we're going to do this here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. I love it.
Lady, stay inside. Old woman, don't come out here right now. Back. Why aren't you people staying inside? Oh, these are good numbers with the grandkids. Don't worry, kid. Your upperclassmen are here.
I love the style of the animation. Ripe instead of rip.
Back there, newbie. You almost wiped him out. They just needed a little extra fisting from us before they were finished. Ew, don't say it like that. I'm telling you right now, that statement does not mean what you think it means. It's important to me that you know that. Hands in, everyone. Ready? Crop dust.
Crop dust!
Break wind.
Cut cheese, break wind! Ha! Oh, is this Oran High School Host Club? Nuts rosters!
Hey there. I'm your court-ordered best friend. I don't care who you are.
Court-ordered best friend!
Not me. I've never actually been in a fight before. Why go to fight school then?
Oh my god.
Hey there. I'm an Ivan reskin. I don't care who you are, just fight me. Not right now. Again. What's the point of fight school?
Ha!
Looks like we're all in the same class. Let's have
Is it Ivan from Alien Stage with the fang?
Fight school. Fight school.
The freckles that Nerai says is great.
Finally, someone in fight school willing to fight. Why'd you stop? No fisting during announcements. God, not you two.
Ha!
Good morning, welcome aboard Flight 420 as you back on
Is this actually flight school?
Night.
Welcome to your first patrol for fight or flight school. Keep an eye out for people who need a good fisting.
Oh my god.
Keep an
The
eye
eye
out.
twitch.
I swear if one more person says it like that, I'm unrolling. Help! Over there. A middle schooler's in trouble. Why aren't we going to help him? He's across enemy lines. If we step over, it'll mean war. Come on, kid. Run!
Run!
Yeesh. Maybe this is natural
That's so funny.
Looks like one of my members lost. Pity. Looks like another jacket for me, though.
Oh, it's so
And
cute!
that's what happened. I see.
It's so cute!
What are we gonna do about it, boss? For now, nothing. Sir! He hit the first gate!
Oh my god!
So now it's war? No. It could have been an accident. Sir! You're not gonna believe this. What do you say, May? 1-on-1. You and me.
May.
Tournament style 5-on-5. Only if the first 4 don't count. Deal. Why would they agree to that?
Why would they agree to that?
Hands in for luck, everyone. Sakura, I'm not doing a stupid chant. For the team?
For the team?
Ugh, fine.
I love their eye.
Cross us, Kakashi's great win.
Ha! Some guy! Yeah, basically. Just keeps putting on the jackets. Another guy!
Easy.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh, man.
It's so cute! A childhood friend I don't... The Naruto reference is amazing.
It was a dark and stormy night. Oh boy, I can't wait until you're the head of the school.
This...
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Man, doing Sasuke like this. Oh my god.
Oh, right in my IBS.
Right, my IBS is great. Oh, I'm gonna go back and look at that.
Finally my turn.
Ha!
You want to maybe take those off? Good idea.
That's clever. I like it.
I'm ready. This reminds me of the time. Wow, you're tough. What school do you go to? I dropped out. Not a single school was okay with my open-toed shoes. My divine dogs need to be free.
My divine dogs need to be free. Oh my god. Oh, Jujutsu Kaisen. There we go.
Join me, and we'll be free together. That one reminded me of...
Oh my god.
To be free, I didn't realize it meant joining a swim club.
Yes! Yes! I want a Windbreaker free crossover, please.
Flashback that. How about I end this with a black flash?
Nice.
Come on, Ume.
The pile of jackets.
Time for the real fight.
How are you gonna do
You and
them?
me, baby. Actually, I thought I'd try something different. Me right here will actually be taking my place. What?
No!
Hang on now. I can't. I believe in you. It's time for a new generation of fighters to take the stage. Wait, come on. This guy's the weakest out of all of us. He was just here to spectate. I don't think that's the best idea. He'll be fine. Go get him.
Oh my god.
As long as you promise to fight me after I win, I don't have a problem wiping the floor with this loser. Deal.
Oh my god.
Too easy. Nothing but a warm-up.
I wish Narai would do that. Oh.
No way. That guy hit as hard as a truck. No.
The Demon Slayer reference is fun.
Did I get isekai?
Ha! Into the mayo. That's funny. I want to see what was on the shoe. What was on the shoe when he, like, kicked him over there? I want to see that. Okay, what was on the shoe? Because he kicked somebody over there. What was that? My divine dogs is really funny. Okay, no, it was Hiragi that kicked him. What was that? I wanted to see what it was real quick. He's like, no, my IBS. Okay, then he kicked him. Oh no, whoop. Got that too big. No. All right, I want to see what the shoe said. Damn it. Oh, it was something about following, wasn't it? Maybe. Possibly. Possible. Ah, damn it. Y'all are like, don't look. I won't see it, but anyway, we'll see what that. I'm sure somebody will comment down below. That was really cute. I love that. So nice. Okay. Well, y'all, this episode was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the end of season 1. We're going to take a break next week. There's going to be another extra on the channel, so don't worry. There will be something on Friday along with Janu Yowie. But then we will come back the following week and we will start season 2. And in the meantime, I will be getting a bingo card up on Patreon and up on the community post on YouTube, so that you can take a picture of it, a screenshot, print it out, do whatever, and then you can play bingo with me every week for season 2. Maybe we'll get a blackout. What prizes could I get if that happens? We'll see. So in the meantime, I'm excited. I hope you all are as well. I'm excited to hear your thoughts about the end of season 1. Please, no spoilers, but I hope you all have an amazing week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah. I'll be back very soon with season 2 of Windbreaker. And I'll see you then. Bye.